Let me quickly get onto something I want to disagree with you about as well, Susie. You've jumped on the Scott Morrison pile on. You want him out of Parliament because of Robodebt. This is like this is American-style politics, isn't it? And the Libs did this as well with the union stuff. After you win government, you have a royal commission into your enemies, and then you say, and it's a pretty shocking royal commission. The royal commissioner was saying basically you're either in favour of welfare or you hate it, rather than saying like most people would, there's a middle ground. But, I mean, he's lost the prime ministership and the election. He doesn't need to be hounded out of Parliament, surely.
Oh, he absolutely does need to be hounded out of Parliament. And what's quite interesting is that the Liberals, some of the Liberals, Bridget Archer, are starting to lead this charge because she knows he's a lame duck. And the longer he stays there, the worse he is. For the Liberals. And the only reason he's still there is because nobody has given him a proper job.
Yeah,
Nothing
so you
that
want
he
him out to
actually
save
wants
the
to do,
Liberals?
apart from write his Christian memoirs.
You want him out? You want him out to
I'm
save
not really a Liberal voter. However,
well, this is the point. I mean, what about, and why do you call them his Christian memoirs?
That
Why is it?
Well, isn't he writing about Christian inspiration?
Is he? I don't know.
Isn't that what he's got his book coming out in the US? Yes, he is. Yes, he has been.
Fair enough.
Yes, he is going to be doing that. However, I think that if we're going to have a Royal Commission that had 1,000 pages worth of findings, and some of those findings were very, very damning against Scott Morrison, we cannot ignore that, and he should not be allowed to remain, because not only did he mislead Cabinet, he then lied about the fact that he did that, and he continues to show no contrition whatsoever.
Yeah, well, he says all that's wrong. The Royal Commissioner, and as I said, what I've read of her report, it's a pretty polarising report. But the point is that he was a former Prime Minister. He won that seat at the last election. We don't normally demand that people leave Parliament. Wouldn't it be bizarre, Stephen, if he was forced to resign from Parliament because of Robodebt, yet Lydia Thorpe gets to stay on for another 4 years or whatever it is?
Exactly. And look, the reality is here that he's not going to contest the next election.
Exactly.
Unlike most of his predecessors, he's been rather innocuous on the backbench. He remains silent. He doesn't snipe from the sidelines like Turnbull did. And look, Susie's right. The reason he's still there is because he's largely unemployable in the context of former prime ministers, because he doesn't have the intellectual rigour of a Keating or an Abbott or even a Turnbull, as much as I hate to say it.
We've got to get to a break. Stick around. We'll come back to the panel afterwards. Maybe a good job for Scott Morrison would be free-range chicken farming, because that's going to be big in the future, apparently.